19-12. Peachy got it away for Eddinghausen. He flicks it. They're over. Healy. Mitch Healy is over. Brilliant try by the Sharks.
Oh, he held the play up. He's an athlete. Gets the ball on the inside to Eddinghausen. He looked like he might score, but Shabosky came up with a great tackle. And Mitch Healy. 2 points on offer earlier. As we see it again from front on, and this will show it up beautifully, especially the last little flick from ET. But if they do take that 2 points, or possible 2 points, the whole...
Play it here inside that Manly 20 again. Kingston to Kamali with Bailey wide to his outside. Stevens, though, down the middle, gave it to Kingston. He was able to hang on to it. He'll play it 7 metres away. Here's Hilda. It goes to Kamali. In behind them. He'll score the first try of the afternoon. The captain gets across the line. Stuart Raper would be happy to see his captain come up with the first try of the afternoon. They moved up quickly on the outside, thinking that's where the pass was going. But he's
aggressive than what they've been over the past 6 weeks. Really hunting with numbers in the defensive line. They're working hard at the play the ball, controlling the ruck area, and therefore it gives them a chance when the next ruck's coming by Manly.
Here's a chance. Wagner, a good ball on the inside for Simmons. If he pins the ears back, he'll score. He should have gone for the line that cost them a try. He was stopped by Donald and Stevenson. Here's Kamali. He'll chip over the top. Off the post, it's still there. Knocked backwards by Kingston. And then Hilda was there to put it down. Speed, I have no doubt, had he just gone for the line, he'd have made it. And the kick, though, was a lucky one in some ways, but probably aiming for it, maybe. Brett Kamali got the bounce he was looking for.
It's 2 tries now that we've seen come from scrum wins. The first one against the head. The second one, Speechley again. Very much involved as Cronulla making another big raid through Miller. Eddinghausen over the halfway. He's away from Jack. Eddinghausen putting the kick in. Coming through quickly is Staines. Also there is Quinn. Staines and Wayne Pearce going for the ball together. It's in the in-goal area and Quinn scores. Try to Cronulla.
This is becoming an embarrassment. On the hooker, Gavin Miller. You'll see the ball coming back inside here. Now just watch this ball go out. There's Miller. That's a bad attempt. Now this guy, as I said earlier, he's got no speed. They said he's played too long in England. This guy's got plenty of speed. He realised Jack's got him covered. Beautiful kick. Michael O'Connor would be pleased with a kick like that. And poor Wayne Pearce tried his best. Good thinking by the halfback, Ronnie Quinn. Didn't panic, but oh dearie me. There's 3-4 Balmain players. Now watch this. This is awful. No one at home. Where's the centres? Miller says I'm clear. Jack's got it all to do. He's got him sized up, but good thinking by the young centre. Great kick inside. And this Staines. Now there you see Pearce, professional foul, tried to get away with it, and Quinn great.
Ball can provide something for Manly, but they have been outplayed until this little point here where Dudley goes across the top and throws a ball for Simmons, as it turns out. Well, it was building for them on that left-hand side, but the intercept taken by Simmons gives the Sharks yet another chance. Here's Peachy coming to Gallen, holding off Wynn and giving a ball to Beau Scott. He's able to shrug away from Williamson, looking for Cavell. Now he finds him. He weaves in some traffic, straightens, and he's stopped 10 metres out by Lulawai. Peachy goes to Kamali, running at them. What a danger he is. Stevens looking for the line. Will put the ball on it, under the black dot, and score the 3rd try of the day for the Sharks. It's 16-0.
Was on the spot, and from there it was a quick play the ball. Kamali across field, isolates Kennedy one-on-one with the big man Jason Stevens. Kennedy goes low. When you go that low on a big man close to the line, you would think the momentum is always...
Players wide to the right of the ground. Nathan Long, back for Dykes on the runaround. Healy picking up Peachy. Inside ball for McKenna. McKenna outside for Eddinghausen. Down the wing goes Rogers. Rogers is over to score.
Yes, I guess the only doubt as to whether Matt Rogers does get the football down fairly out wide before taking... Yeah, no dramas there at all. And a very good attacking move from Cronulla. Plenty of Cronulla. They
took it to the line, brought the defence up. Now, at this stage, the Parramatta defence looks pretty good. But it's Chris McKenna. He's made 2 or 3 clean breaks and he's offloaded. Once again there to ET, and he gets down low and drives hard Rogers. That's beautiful stuff. Good involvement also from Andrew Eddingshausen.
Yeah, a couple of key passes weren't there. This one from McKenna and the quick one from Eddinghausen. He realised that he had to give his winger as much time as possible. He drew Burt as close as he could before offloading.
It's Peachy from dummy half, goes to Kamali. Now Hilda across the halfway line. Another chance here. 5 line breaks to the Sharks, none to Manly so far. Here's Kamali again, make it 6 line breaks. Here he comes to Kingston. He goes past him though to Beau Scott, and the Sharks are in for try number 4. It is a carve up of the highest order at the moment.
Kamali, I think he's really enjoyed the extra responsibility here this afternoon. I think he enjoys the sets where he can get his hands on the football a number.
We want to get involved in this today's game. There's a lot out there walking.
Loose ball, knocked on. Sinclair cleans it up. Scrum will go down just inside Cronulla's territory.
David and Steve, it's hard to imagine this Balmain team was the same team that beat Penrith so convincingly in the National Panasonic Cup. They lack cohesion, they're forcing passes, missing tackles, playing very, very badly.
And now Cronulla with another chance. Here comes Docking. Docking over the quarter line. Cyril won't catch him. And Jonathan Docking scores.
And fully deserved indeed. And you can point the finger at Gary Jack. What up in the play is beyond me. He drew Jack. Where's the fullback? He's gone. See you later. And this guy can motor. I just cannot believe that coaches continue to bring the fullback into up.
Said the referee. There was play on. Now Kingston comes to Kamali. Mayavra on his outside, running at Michael Witt, who made a good tackle there. Smallest man on the field up against one of the bigger ones, and he chopped him down. Now Vangana throws a dummy, and Michael Witt at marker got involved in a push and shove.
And there you see Witt going the wrong way with Luke Williamson. There was no communication from marker. Both markers going the same way.
Cronulla with the ball just outside their own quarter line. Now that's Staines. Staines with a great big hole. He's up to the halfway line. Good defence from Pearce from behind, chopped him down. And also there was Gale. Last tackle against Cronulla. Miller decides to go on his own. Miller still going. Gavin Miller. The ball comes away to Hatch. Now it goes to Wilson. Wilson for the corner. Pushes off Neil. Wilson dives and scores.
Both centres are moving up far too quick. And it was a great run here by the hooker. Miller, step inside. Now this guy's supposed to be finished as a running footballer. There we saw Jack coming in very hard indeed. Good play by Wilson. Took the tackle, dived.
Well, it's hard to gauge their form, of course, today against this Eagles side, depleted as it is. And now here's Gallen of a Nutley pass. He comes to Stevenson. Gallen can really motor for a forward, and he'll play it here just outside the 30. Luluwine now going down the park. It comes back to Kingston. He stopped at the 20-metre line by Kane Cleal. Kamali lining up on the left-hand side. They are once again. They'll play it there through Clifford Manua, who gets his side 9 metres out from the Seagulls line. Gallen from dummy half. It comes back to Kamali, grubbering in again behind them. He gets a bounce. That's try number 6.
Gallen quick play the ball, and Brett Kamali sums it up. A rebound, but once again gets himself in a position to retrieve the football back.
Well, as you say, it seems a foregone conclusion already with 46 minutes to play in the game that Manly will be beaten rather badly here this afternoon. And despite their poor form, as the Sharks are off again, they move it down the field through Kingston, who runs inside the 30. It's men against boys at the moment. Here's Peachy giving it to Kamali. A flat pass on his outside. Clifford Manua, a ball back in the inside for Paul Mellor. Manly haven't touched the ball in what seems like a quarter of an hour.
Hey, everything they are doing is turning to gold. And what about this pass? Bang off the ground, great hands, terrific try. You enjoy coming to Toyota Park when you see the Sharks play this champagne style.
Am I allowed to touch it or not?
Well, he was obviously confused, the referee.
Oh! Head-high tackle against Hensley. He's off.
He's gone.
Kerry Hensley has been sent off. As Quinn came back on the inside and Hensley, the outstretched arm, and that really is going to put all the pressure on Balmain now. Look at this. Oh! Didn't miss.
Well, David, it's going to be one of those things at the judiciary again. Did his arm hit the shoulder area, then slip up? Well, he's not too pleased. And you'd think that the players would, well, realise that referees are fully aware of this. You saw him shake his head there.
Hard luck for Cronulla. Good football. They really did work that well. But Speechley had got into the gap. Just didn't quite grab hold of that ball as Gale put him a little bit off balance as well. And there's Gary Schofield, sporting one of those new style haircuts. And now Docking's got it out wide to Coleman. Coleman for the corner. Cronulla are in. Glenn Coleman scores.
Well, that really was great play. And once again, we caught Balmain napping. There we see the ball coming out. Beautiful pass here. Now watch the long ball, and this is what created it. Now look, there is all the space in the world. The wingman's left him alone. He's had to come in, take the centre. And Coleman.
And yet they are still 4 points clear of their rivals, or 3 points, of course, of the Bulldogs. So they have just gone nowhere in recent times, and still they are comfortably going to make the top 8, it seems, at this stage. Here is Beau Scott looking for the second try of his afternoon, and he'll get one. The ball
In the lead-up to this try, the pass went to ground, and then Luke Cavell putting a little grabber kick through. Was touched by Matt-Eye, and then Beau Scott just picks it up and goes over. So when the pass goes to ground, you still need to be moving forward, and you still got to be committed. And they just hung off coming across the Manly players.
Like a dispirited team. You'd swear that they were the team. Oh, another very heavy hit, but McGaw's got away from it. And he's only 18 metres out from that Balmain line. Miller, a dummy half, blindsided, comes away to Speechley. The little kick in behind the defence. Eddinghausen picked it up and scored. What a try.
And as we were saying earlier, David, they're electing to keep this ball alive, but what a beautiful kick through. No doubt about it, he was onside. The speed there, and he caught both Gardner and Jack napping, but good play by the 5'8", Michael Speechley. Beautiful kick, it bounces nice, but it's the speed that gets him there.
5 minutes left in the match as Freestone goes on his own. Freestone's got that one away. Hatch has picked it up, looking like an Arapaho Indian. As Speechley got it away to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen will score. That's the game. Great try, Andrew Eddinghausen. And Michael Speechley has thrown that magnificent pass. He has had an outstanding match, Speechley. He's popped up passes everywhere in the first half. Cronulla ran onto them and scored the tries, and Eddinghausen has put the Sharks away. Watson with the kick to come, but that should secure the Winfield Cup points for the Sharks.
It certainly should, David, and a beautiful try here. The halfback combination have played very well, but Speechley, a beautiful pass. And as we saw in the first half from Balmain, they've left a lot of gaps. They didn't in the second half, right up until this point. But full credit to the Sharks, they've kept the ball alive. Balmain expecting the Sharks to just play it tight, hope to hang on to those 2 vital points. But this guy says no. When you've got a guy with this class and speed, look at him accelerate in for the corner, and isn't that great?
Gallen will play it, 43 out from the Manly line on the last tackle here in this set of 6. It comes back to the right-hand side, and he kicks for the corner. The wingers were playing up in the line. Stevenson got a poor bounce. Now it's there for the Sharks again, and Kamali makes it a hat-trick. On a rare afternoon for the Sharks. We've had 52 minutes of play. They've scored 48 points. That will.
He could have just went, well, we've kicked it downfield, we'll get some field position, and we'll make the tackle. But he didn't. He chased down, he didn't give up. The bounce favoured him. He kicked it through, and who was there? The number 7 and skipper, Kamali.
Nathan Long with a big run. 11 metres Very good game. Martin Lang backs it up. Tremendous go forward from both of those players. And a tremendous run by Russell Richardson. I thought it might carry him all the way. It's play on. They're going to score. The Sharks go in to score. It is Brent Gross who puts it over the line.
Knocked out by Jamie Ainscough, coming in cover defence, but a big push here on Gasnier. Gets rid of Blacklock. And looking for some support. The ball was knocked out. The referee was in great position to rule on that. He ruled 6 again, and it was fine for the try scorer to pick it up and put the ball over.
And this is the sort of form we saw Richardson displaying most of last year. Not so much this year, but it's a good play on his opposite in Gasnier. And then pushed away from Blacklock, and he's away. Barrett ankle taps him. He's still going. Good, strong leg work by Richardson, and that's a play there by Blacklock, purposely knocking the ball out, and Lance Thompson couldn't get to it in time. And Gross, he gets the first try for the Sharks. Easy for him.
Slowly back to his feet. Dunley was there in the tackle again. He's been involved in a bit of everything today. Here's Hilda, chopped down from behind by Williamson. Last play again. There's Sullivan. A ball on from Gallen to Nigel Vangana. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Nigel. He can still put on a try celebration with the best of them.
A great support player. Sullivan out of dummy half, picking up Gallen, bang over the head. They can do no wrong. And the man with the best goatee in the business, Vangana, scores the try. Well, how easy is that?
Enough tonight to regain his spot for mine.
Ferris. Now they're 35 metres off the line. Dykes kick on the run, and leading the race is Paul Mellor. Now what's happened here? It's come off Roberts, come off a Dragon, gone back to a Shark, and he says 6 more. Mellor through from Dykes, who didn't pass. Fitzgerald took him out. Long, close to the line. Oh, I thought he was going to reach out and put it over. Ferris. And Preston Campbell's over. Campbell's in. Well, they went up very fast. I saw Lance Thompson out of the corner of my eye go up very, very fast. And when you go up in this broken line, and you've got somebody like Campbell, that was the exchange. It went all over the place. Did he get it right?
He did. Just having a look at that, there was no knock-on from the Sharks in that piece of play. It was 6 again. And how often do you see try scored when the ball goes to ground? They never really recovered. Preston Campbell outside Lance Thompson. The previous play, they would have scored if it hadn't been for Amos Roberts denying the Sharks player. But not so. Preston Campbell, who again has impressed tonight. He's been all over the park.
Well, it was a beautiful pickup, wasn't it, by Campbell? Very skillful player and lovely hands on the run, on the charge, straight through a hole. And he's played well again once again tonight.
The boys from that little township are having...
Everybody wants to get the first receiver and lay something on. Sullivan goes back to Peachy. Gallen runs the decoy this time. It comes back to Beau Scott. He's only 4 metres away from the line. Sullivan again from dummy half, taking them on himself. He pops it out the back for Gallen. He'll spin and get across the line. He laid one on, of course, for Nigel Vangana with a 0.
Hold the phone. They want a hole. They need a hole, the Manly players. They want to get off the field. It's been an embarrassing performance by Manly.
And Mostyn not held in the first tackle.
Well, the crowd don't like the fact that there was no penalty for Willie Peters, but it did appear as though he just ran straight into the Sharks defender, who does not have to get out of the way. It was Andrew Pearce. Really just a nothing play, really. Well, Pearce might have moved there. There might have been just cause, but the Sharks are away with Chris Beattie.
Beattie takes it down the park. 35 metres out from the line. Ferris, Campbell, catch, kick, and Colin Best. Colin Best, he's over the line for a try. Well, that is just amazing. It started with Big Beatty, then Preston Campbell. He caught, he kicked, he chased. This was Beatty starting it up in the middle of the ground, and Colin Best gets a try out of it.
Big Chris Beatty straight through Darren Tracy. Good speed from the big man. Sharks having trouble to keep up with him. Amos Roberts takes him front on, and then it's just good vision from Preston Campbell. He realised that the defensive line that was coming at him didn't have a second line behind it. Dykes found him. He frees it there. Look at the space. Preston Campbell, he realises it is a dead straight line from the Dragons. If he kicks it through, very tough to turn and chase. Only Roberts looking to recover. A great pickup from Colin Best.
Problem for the Seagulls. Here's Kamali giving it to Matt Hilda. Last tackle in this set of 6. Sullivan to Kamali. He will put a kick in, perhaps taking a little bit of mercy here on Manly. Or Stevenson and Donald fell over in unison. It was synchronised slipping. And coming through, there was a chance for the Sharks to once again come up with a try similar to the one we saw earlier, where the bounce was a terrible one for Stevenson, and Kamali scored. Now here's Simmons. He takes an intercept from Kennedy. He draws the fullback and gives it to Nigel Vungana, who gets the 3rd try of his afternoon.
He's a much improved player too, this kid, David Simmons. Positionally very aware of where he needs to be.
Is off its point. Stevenson takes it across the dead ball, and they won't make it to 70. But 68 is more than enough today. 68-6. Can you believe the score you've seen right here on NRL Sunday live at Toyota Park?
1 just outside their own 20. Now the 30 with Gross. Stewart putting a little swerve into his approach. But they've used 3 tackles, and they're just coming off their 40 as Lang grits the teeth and tries to build up speed. Tackled near the halfway line. The Sharks leading by 4. And Mellor got around the outside of the halfback. Support on the inside, and Mostyn goes down there to score. Damien Mostyn scores, and the Sharks go to 22-14.
And it may be trying to keep the defensive load off the halfback, but it also makes them vulnerable for mine. We freeze it there. You can see Willie Peters up against a much bigger man in Paul Mellor. He gets on the outside with his hip, bumps him off, or actually back on the inside, but beats him cold, and then a real lack of cover defence. In fact, the Dragons not showing any great urgency to get back at all, and Damien Mostyn, don't know about the celebrations that far out, but he does get a very important 4 points.
Of all the positions on the field to defend, the centres is the hardest, no doubt about it. They've got so much room to cover, and on this occasion, little Willie Peters, he's been out there all night, but Paul Mellor just had a little bit too much room to move around in. He's about 16 stone, Willie's about 5, and he beat him quite easily.
Throw the man onto his back. Dykes with it. Skips out Douglas. Finds Kamali inside with Bird. Kenny's inside the 10. Bird and Callan, they're offering plenty of offloads today. Dykes sends them to the right. Luluwai's charged over. He reckons he's got it down. Kylie Luluwai has got the ball down for the try. Phil Luluwai.
Adam Dykes did very well. He's played very direct again, Adam Dykes, today, and he's played mostly first receiver. And he was able to come to the side where they had less attacking players, but there weren't many defenders either. The tour went up quickly. It was a staggered line. Roberts couldn't keep the bigger man from putting the ball down, and no...
Healy, Eddinghausen, quick hands, Mellor. Down the right of the ground, full back to beat. Big man on small man. Healy's pass has gone to Rogers. There'll be a question on whether
The referee had a good look at it. He was up there, wasn't he? Great hands. They've attacked down that side of the field all night. Beautiful fend by Mellor. And then Healy backing up the inside. There's the pass, but you see where Simpkins was? He was right in line, in good position. Parramatta fans still booing it.
And this is another time where Cronulla, or the Sharks, I'm sorry, would have been expected to kick. Mello got rid of Ryan, big fend. He did well. He drew Hodgson. And then the Parramatta defence did pretty well also, because there were 4 Sharks players in support. And then Matt Rogers came up swinging. Like, he is not impressed with that tackle from Jason Mooney one little bit.
We shared a lot of things, ET and me. Played State of Origin together, played for Australia together. And I was always interested in watching ET play because of that connection, that schoolboy connection. And Andrew, you know, that's not true of everybody, but I thought ET became a better footballer the older he got. And, you know, with 165 tries, I think he scored.
It's certainly showing in the way he's speaking to the players. Here's Peachy, yawning gap. Will he have the pace? I think he will. Although here comes Julian. What a tackle, Julian O'Neill. Well done. I thought Peachy would be too quick. I was wrong. Now it comes back to Dykes. Campbell, great juggle. Now Stevens must score in the corner. Graham, now the try. And Sean Ryan. Has he got the ball down? Referee says yes. David Peachy gets into open space. Adam Dykes looking to hold the ball up to McKenna. Instead, he gives the second man play to Peachy. Peachy looks like he's going to score. O'Neill comes across with a fantastic tackle. 9 times out of 10, the Sharks will shift it after they've made a break. The Cowboys, they just didn't number up. They can press their defence. They were willing to slide and show the outside to the Sharkies, but they had their numbers out there and too quick to score in the corner.
Yeah, well, Laurie, this comes from the back of a penalty given to the Sharks. Great ball skills there by Preston Campbell and Jason Stevens, and they moved the ball absolutely wonderful. So the Shark...
And if he got a half-decent bounce, he gets to the line.
The Sharks with the Goyce, he's gone right over halfway. Oh, look at him stretch out. This is the Portuguese international. It may as well be the Portuguese 100-metre champion. He has run 60 metres to score. Isaac de Goyce. De Goyce the Great, you betcha. 10-0 here to the Sharks.
Oh, good side, outside. And it's just come out of nowhere. Look, he's a clever player. But a dummy half, who's not a noted speedster, doesn't push through 2 defenders.
He's run 70.
Into open space. That's Willie Tonga who goes off to the side. He's beaten Luke Patton with a swerve. There's no one within shot.
Well, what was he thinking, Willie Tonga? I mean, Willie Tonga was alongside of him and ran away from him thinking, oh, well, someone will get him. I mean, we're 60 metres out from our own line. And he looked up, he said, gee whiz, I can make this.
He's got the arms pumping too, look at that.
What'd you say, the Portuguese champion?
Yes, no, well, he's a Portuguese international. Played a rugby league international for Portugal. And it's not often you get to say Portuguese international in a game, and Isaac de Goyce is it. I can't think.
Ball stood on the ground. Now Dykes. Inside there to Graham. Graham's 5 metres out. John Ball is in trouble in back play. Now here's Ferris from acting half. Too easy. Does he get it down? He does. That was too easy for the Sharks. Under the pace for Jason Ferris.
Your thoughts are, but Julian O'Neill at fullbacks pulled off a couple of trademark tackles, but there's nothing happening around the pivot area there. Penalty to the Cowboys. Could blow up here shortly.
Jason Stevens for mine lashed out with his boot there. Buttigieg and McNicholas in back play. They're exchanging a few. Players have come from everywhere. Martin Lang and somebody have gone berserk. Glenn Morrison. And now behind there's another one. Chris McKenna and Shepherd. In fact, it's Mostyn and Shepherd. Buttigieg's hit Mostyn.
John Buttigieg. John Buttigieg.
And you're right, Steve Mortimer. And I think the referee has to take some blame in this.
Everyone go that way.
It's on again. Nathan Feen there, I think, with David Peachy.
Calm down. Walk away.
Or is that Shepherd?
Walk away. Walk away.
Careful the Cowboys that they just don't force it while they've got a man overlap. There they go, and there's the intercept from Miller. They won't catch him. Nostradamus Daly's done it again, and Miller will score and puts the ball down. They did overplay it. And the right with a long ball. Nathan Feen opened himself up for an intercept.
Paul Miller read it sensationally and ran all the way to score a great try. They really had to take a few forward, drag the Sharks in, and
Patton comes back. Hello, here goes the General. Tackled by Taliapapa.
Well, there were 6 chases on the kick to the outside, none on the inside.
Another error from the Dogs. On tackle 2 from Roberts. They've handed it back to the Sharks. Anderson away for Williams. Williams will score for Cronulla.
Cutler. This time from Ben Roberts. Now Lance Thompson throws the cutout onto Fraser Anderson, who steps back on the inside. He keeps it alive to, well, the man who eventually gets it over. No, the Canterbury defender was backing away. Despite the fact he went in behind Fraser Anderson, there's no way that the number 10, Chris Armott, could get to him.
I think he was worried too about those Bulldogs players that fell over, but they crashed into each other. The grounding's no problem. And, well, this is just... it's unlucky. You know, like you're trying to do the right thing by your team. You've got the hand free. There's a man there to take the ball. And Benny Roberts has probably let him down. It's a pass that should have been taken. And they don't recover. Fraser Anderson does a tremendous job, gets it onto Williams. He sees the line and just burrows in. I feel really sorry for the 2 boys who've come up with this error because they're only trying to do their best. Benny Roberts doesn't get a handle on the ball and they've been punished big time.
Able to run it up. Here go the Doggies. Big Hickey. Come on the size of him. What animal's he? He's a damn big one. Sharks come up with the ball. Running back is Bird. And that is his name. Bird still going for the Sharks. Able to keep it alive. Great hands from Gallen. Now away they go. Pomeroy will score for Cronulla. Scintillating try from the Sharks. We wrapped their defence this year, but that attack is as good as we've seen.
Have a look at the effort here from Greg Bird. I know that Paul Gallen throws a great ball at the end of it, quick hands, but after Brent Sherwin decides to run it on the last, I'm not quite sure whether Jared Hickey is the man that you want there to take advantage of a last tackle play. It goes forward. It's picked up. Greg Bird picks it up there, steps, beats one, carries another, beats another, beats a third, gets Sonny Bill interested, brings in another player as well in El Masri. He's beaten 5 or 6 to put it on a platter basically for the number 3.
Well, Jared Hickey is the perfect example of a trombone in the violin section. He was not the man you wanted lumbering onto the ball out wide. And this fella, Ben Pomeroy, has been sensational for the Sharks this year.
Tackle Sherwin. Sherwin has shaded Kamali today, I reckon. Gallen decides to go the blind side. Puts a fend on. This time, oh yeah, he's got it this time. Graham West, Ben Cummins, none of them can take it off him. He's won the game for the Sharkies.
And nobody has shaded Paul Gallen this afternoon. Played State of Origin game number 3 for New South Wales last year, and he's in better form now than when chosen for that game. He goes to the short side, pushes off Brent Sherwin twice, straightens up, finds Daniel Holsworth, keeps him away. And that's just magnificent. That is desire. That is the effort to get the job done, no matter what. And in the process, he's won the game outright for his team.
That's pretty special, all right. That is very special. He thought he had one a moment ago to wrap the game.